Dr. Paul here with Barbara of Cabot Shores. And have you ever considered or done a tour of the Cabot Trail? Well, we did. It's one of the best rides of a lifetime, and I really recommend it to you when you come to Cape Breton Island. And this is what I was hoping to find when I went. Just ceilidhs along the way where you could just drop off and hear this wonderful Celtic music. But that's not what was happening. We were dreaming about Celtic music with these kinds of kitchen parties. But what I did really in November, first time I went around the trail with my family, was to drive too much and to make some other mistakes. And the purpose of this short video is to help you avoid some of these mistakes and to find some of the best spots for fun and friendly people and adventure. And the other mistake I made, frankly, was having too little time, or really the way I'm doing now, rushing a little bit rather than relaxing and renewing energy. Do you do that on vacations where you come back a little bit more tired than when you left? Well, that's what was like for my first trip, and my family wasn't pleased. So which way do you go on the Cabot Trail? That's often a question that we get asked, and it doesn't really matter. We like to go counterclockwise because it gives you a view of the ocean and the Bay of St. Lawrence. And where do you start? Well, we started here, which is at Indian Brook on the east coast of the island on the Atlantic. I'd been there before, and I haven't met a waterfall that I don't love, and this is the Indian Brook Falls. So we started there and went counterclockwise along the trail. And again, we were hoping to find Celtic music, intimate settings, even kitchen parties, which are world famous, and food, but we didn't know where to find that. And what we did was kind of race around during a time where there wasn't much happening. So my family there is pretending to still love me with a photo by Carol Kennedy, who's a great local photographer. But imagine, instead of that kitchen music, Gaelic music, you're hearing while you're driving, when are we getting there? You know, I'm hungry. I'm bored. Is there anything but scenery? Well, one of the best rides in the world should have great scenery, but when you're with teenagers, you have to find something they want to do as well, or even your partner might not like that as much. So how do you find what will make the best trip for each person, the best experience? Well, the dream I had was that we'd go to places like the Scenic Drive, the Skyline Drive at Shetty Camp, on the other side of the island from Indian Brook, which I just showed you, and we do stuff like see a moose fairly up close as long as we're safe. There was no such thing happening when we went around the first time. We didn't know exactly where to go. I also dreamed of seeing eagles flying overhead, and you know, this week, and we actually saw 8 eagles, and one of them had a fish and dropped it on the ground. And this we didn't see, but this is the kind of educational profile you'll get right on the Cabot Trail, where you see eagles. There's whales, whale watching that you could do. There's all kinds of fish, and of course lobster, which weren't in season when we were there. We were hoping we would do something like see or meet someone, a lobster fisherman like Merrill McGinnis, and actually learn about the lobster. So what are the common mistakes? There are icons along the way that you can see. Driving too much, you can miss things like Fort Louisburg, which isn't on the Cabot Trail, but you should really see the Alexander Graham Bell Museum, the Gaelic College. But break up the trip for some of these great places and use local experts such as Cape Bretoners to find the best spots, and often off the beaten track, so that guides can tell you where to see a waterfall on a beach, or where to do hikes to fabulous waterfalls. You can tell I have a bias towards waterfalls. Or where to go salmon fishing, or study Gaelic culture, or to have a native Mi'kmaq adventure. In short, how do you take the time that you have, even if we're all pressed for time, and relax and renew energy? So I suggest you find a peaceful place, a nature destination, if you will. It could be Cabot Shores, and this is what we did since we built the place on Indian Brook. And it looks like this. Still on Indian Brook, there's still this wilderness, and you can see the lodge here now, and you can go out and go up in the air. We had a film that was done on an ancient Chinese settlement, so we had the opportunity to be in a helicopter and take a picture of Cabot Shores from the air, and you could see the four-star chalets in the lodge. And then what you don't see is a yurt and a teepee and all kinds of hiking trails that you can follow down to the ocean. But the point is, whether you're here, outside, and inside, you get legends of the bird islands, of the kinds of trips that you can take along the coast, the kind of music you can hear in a lodge. And it doesn't have to be Cabot Shores. It could be any great destination along Cape Breton. But find a place where you can have an adventures wherever you are, as well as a jump-off place to the Cabot Trail. Get recommendations from the guides and even fellow guests. And above all, as I learned, enjoy the company of loved ones and don't rush it. We have precious little time these days. Our lives are very busy. So that's what I recommend to avoid some of the mistakes that I made going around the trail. And my family has forgiven me, although my penance has been to shave off my mustache. My daughter Ruby and my wife Barbara, my son Lou, who's a bigger teenager right now, and me. I call myself Dr. Paul because I've graduated from being a businessman and a doctor of psychology to being a doctor of adventure travel, and I learned the hard way. So come stay and play and celebrate on Cape Breton Island. Come to Cabot Shores, meet us regardless of where you stay, and I wish you a terrific adventure when you discover Cape Breton and the Cabot Trail. Bye for now.